Let's put some numbers on this and talk about actual exposure levels, because when you calculate how much artificial color children are really consuming, it's pretty alarming. Researchers have combined market share data with dietary intake surveys to model exposure, and what they've found is that many American children exceed even the conservative acceptable daily intake estimates that regulators have set. The methodology here involves looking at what kids actually eat, portion sizes from national nutrition surveys, and the concentration of dyes in different products. When you run those numbers, certain patterns emerge that should concern any parent. Young children, especially those between ages 2 and 8, tend to consume the highest levels of artificial colors relative to their body weight. They're eating smaller portions, but often choosing the most dye-intensive products, those brightly colored cereals, fruit snacks, and beverages that manufacturers target directly at kids. A single serving of some popular children's cereals can contain 15 to 20 milligrams of artificial color. Add a juice box at 10 milligrams, some gummy snacks at another 15, maybe a colored yogurt or popsicle, and you're easily hitting 50 to 70 milligrams in a single day. For a small child, that's a substantial exposure. Consumption pattern analysis reveals that it's not evenly distributed either. Some children consume these products occasionally and have minimal exposure, while others consume them daily or multiple times per day, creating a high-exposure subgroup. The products driving the majority of intake are predictable. Breakfast cereals, snack foods, and beverages marketed to children account for roughly 70% of total exposure in most models. What makes this particularly concerning is that these estimates are based on reported consumption, and we know that dietary surveys typically underreport what people actually eat. The real exposure levels could be even higher. Public health experts I've consulted emphasize that these are not trace amounts we're talking about. These are pharmacologically active doses of chemicals entering developing bodies day after day, year after year. When you map exposure by age and demographic groups, lower-income children often show higher exposure levels, partly because the most dye-intensive products tend to be cheaper and more heavily marketed in lower-income neighborhoods. This creates an environmental justice issue where children with fewer resources are bearing a higher chemical burden. The dosage response data from behavioral studies suggests that the levels many children are consuming are right in the range where effects on attention and activity become measurable. We're not talking about doses 10 times higher than what causes problems. We're talking about real-world consumption patterns that align with the doses shown to cause behavioral changes in research settings. That should be a red flag for regulators and parents alike.